Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is now episode 4 of True Crime Thursday, and I'm quite excited. I didn't think I'd be this consistent, but I am, so let's just have a round of applause for me. Yes, slow clap. Yes. Either way, you guys, if you are enjoying this series, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I know a lot of people watch it in the live premiere and then they don't subscribe, and I'm like, you're like getting all the satisfaction and entertainment out of my video, but you're not even subscribed. So like, are you a true fan? Are you a ride or die? No, you're not. Also, you guys, I got this new shirt. Do you like it? I have like a lot of clothes that I bought online that I just recently tried on since I've been back, and do you guys want to see a haul? I feel like that could be nice, but I also didn't buy that many clothes, so it's like, do you want to see the haul that's gonna be like 7 minutes long or not? You know what I mean? Either way, I just got major sidetracked. Let's get into the true crime case of today. Now, killing one person is pretty bad. Killing 2 people is horrific, but killing a whole family that has 4 kids under the age of 7, I want to say that's what the spawn of Satan would do, honestly. Like, I can't think of anyone else that would do such a thing. But what really happened? Now, this case remains unsolved. It's still a cold case. It happened a century ago, so finding the culprit now is probably very much impossible because either they're dead or there's just absolutely no evidence left to even analyze. But either way, this is the entire wipeout of the Evangelist family. The victims. Now, Benny Evangelista worked some interesting jobs. He was a carpenter, an author, a faith healer, and a cult leader. So I mean, I'd very much love to see what his resume looked like. Either way, in 1904, at the age of 19, he moved to the US and shortened his last name to Evangelist, which I'm guessing was to progress his healing career. You know, someone hears that they're a faith healer and their last name is Evangelist, they're thinking this guy must be the real deal. So I mean, kudos to him, you know, the commitment to the grind was real. Anyway, 2 years after moving, Benny apparently started having prophetic visions about God, which resulted in him writing a 4-volumed book project titled The Oldest History of the World. And with these newfound visions, he took it upon himself to turn his basement into his mystical area. Now, Benny made about 12 wax figures representing the planets and hung up this giant electrical eye, and this whole setup worked as his altar for his Evangelist healings. He charged about $10 per session, so that, along with his carpentry, made Benny quite comfortable in terms of money. Now, the years obviously went by and he got married, had 4 young children, aged 7, 5, 4, and 1. Honestly, the house must have been chaos with 4 kids that young. Can you even imagine? Now, in 1929, the family of 6 were living on St. Aubin Street in Detroit, and July 3rd is the night in question. On to the case. The case. Now, honestly, I don't want to bullshit you guys. Not a lot is actually known about what happened at the Evangelist home the evening of the 3rd. However, the night beforehand, Benny had called the watchman of a house that was about to be demolished. He told him that he had bought all the useful lumber from the wrecking company and that they would come to the house to pick up the wood and then deliver it to Benny the following day. I mean, evidently, Benny never opened the door to pay the delivery man since him and his family had been slaughtered that very night. When the police arrived at the home, they found the butchered remains of all the Evangelists. Benny's body was found sitting at his desk with his hands in his lap like he was about to pray, which was quite sick on the murderer's part, but what was worse was the fact that Benny had been fully decapitated and his head was laying on the floor near the desk. His wife and youngest were both found in bed and their heads were completely smashed in. There were no survivors. But why? Why would anyone target this family? The police conducted an investigation and questioned multiple potential suspects, but no one was ever convicted based on lack of evidence. The case remains unsolved despite it having occurred nearly a century ago. But I mean, no case is ever really fully unsolved. There are always plausible theories as to what could have happened, so let's talk about them. the theories. Theory number 1. Now, the first theory behind what could have happened to the Evangelist family has all to do with the lumber that Benny had purchased the day before. Now, the major loophole in the case above was that what about the delivery man who came to deliver the wood the next day? Like, I never mentioned him after the first mention. Like, surely he must have called the police or known what had happened when he arrived at the house. But turns out the delivery crew never even showed up to the house, so they had no idea that Benny was also a no-show. He was gonna pay them in cash, and lumber back then was quite expensive, so I mean, there must be a lump sum pile of cash in his house that was just waiting to be taken. Now, because of that, the police thought the money was a primary motive for the murders because the pile was never found in the house, even after extensive searching. So the police then turned their attention to the delivery crew, which they could never even get a hold of or find. Benny never wrote down the name of the delivery company, so they had no way of knowing who to even track down. Authorities thought that perhaps the crew had shown up, barged into the house that morning, killed the family, and made off with the money, and then, I don't know, changed their name and moved to Mexico. And I mean, it was the 20s. It was a lot harder to track people down back then than it is now. I mean, it wasn't just a click away like it is now. Want me to find your ex? Let me go on Instagram for 5 minutes and I will find them. Literally. Theory number 2. Now, the second theory revolves around his healing practice. Now, it really depends on whether or not you believe in this healing stuff or not. Some people go because they genuinely believe in it. Some people who already have everything they want in life go to these sessions to either keep that good luck going or at least make sure there's no bad juju around them. It could have been one of Benny's clients who either orchestrated the killings or got a hitman to do them instead. The client could have started believing that Benny was full of complete shit, or maybe he'd milked him out of all his money and he just wanted it back. Again, this is all speculation. Theory number 3. The third theory isn't really one single theory, it's more like all the other theories people had come up with to try and explain the Red Wedding-esque event that took place. Now, some believed it was an angry cult member that hated Benny or wanted him dead. It could have even been carried out by a rival cult or healer or religious man that just wanted Benny to stop spewing his shit. Or it could have been a random angry person and the family just got the bad end of the stick just by being there and living in that house. What's also interesting is that various cult killings occurred from 1929 to 1932, so it could have also just been the start of those series of killings, which makes the culprit of this case a renowned cult serial killer. And that is it, you guys. I wish this case had more information, but since it's such an old case, it was really hard for me to find, more intimate information about the family, the wife, the kids. I mean, how much information was I really gonna find on 4 kids that are very, very young? Like, what is their SIN number? What is their blood type? No, but I don't want to make jokes about the dead, obviously, but I'm stumped with this case. I really don't know who would kill them. Like, okay, even if you are a client of his and you were so mad at him ripping you off or telling you just bullshit mystical healing things, I just don't think anyone would be that angry to actually go out and kill him and his whole family. And clearly the fact that Benny had been decapitated and his murder was the most, I want to say, horrific. I want to say the murder was really just targeted upon him, but since the family was in the room and in the house, obviously they had to be killed too because they were probably witnesses. I mean, there's so many serial killer documentaries and podcasts that say the way the person is killed really reflects the relationship of the killer to the person, and the fact that Benny himself was killed in such an atrocious way makes it seem like Benny knew the killer, or at least the killer knew who Benny was. Either way, I think the whole delivery crew disappearing is very shady. In regards to the pile of money, maybe the pile of money was never in the house to begin with. That's why the police couldn't find it. I don't want to go out on a whim and say, yes, whoever killed the family also took the money, because maybe the person didn't even know about the money lying in the house. Maybe they killed the family for a completely different reason that we will never know, and we probably will never know because the culprit is 110% dead by now. Unless he also found the elixir of immortality in the house and is now still alive. Probably not. Either way, you guys, let me know which theory you think makes the most sense. I honestly am not banking on any of the theories. Like, these are the ones that I read about, these are the ones that made the most sense, but I don't know, I'm not I'm not fully sold. Let me know which one you think is the most plausible in the comments below, and that is it, you guys. I will catch you in the next one. Bye. Remember to subscribe. If you're not subscribed right now and you've gotten to the end of this video, that is a disservice to me. Anywho, bye guys.